Welcome to ChangeNOW, the world's largest event for the planet. My name is Inge Mehus, and I'm your moderator in our pitch garden today. This session is dedicated to Women's Impact Entrepreneurs by Cartier's Women Initiative Fellows, and we're going to discover some top innovators today. So let's start by I'm going to hand it over to our expert, Wenji Sampaio, the Global Program Director for Cartier's Women Initiative, and she's going to give us an introduction to our exciting session. Wenji, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much, ChangeNOW, for creating the space for us to tell the story of the incredible contribution of women impact entrepreneurs. The Cartier Women Initiative has been around for the last 15 years, and it is a remarkable program that tries to support the important work of women impact entrepreneurs globally. Our program has had an impact for the last 15 years, and currently we have about 200 plus women entrepreneurs that are part of our program. So let me start by saying why women impact entrepreneurs and why the importance of creating a space to tell the story. According to the Boston Consulting Group, actually, if we close the gender gap between women entrepreneurship specifically, that actually creates a space of $2.5 trillion in GDP adding to the global world's GDP. That is actually approximately the GDP of France. And for us, this is an incredible thing to notice and to actually acknowledge that the importance of creating the space for women to make such a contribution. And of course, on the same hand, the UN SDG goals is really the world's to-do list that really requires a lot more effort globally from everyone and on an inclusive basis. And so for us, we find that the idea that we can support women impact entrepreneurs that are supporting the world to make the world a better place and to solve the UN SDG challenge seems to be really a match in heaven in terms of contribution that we can highlight and that we can lend our support to. I wanted to share also a moment how the Cartier Women Initiative works and how the fellows that you'll see today got to the program, because they are selected amongst about 1,200 applicants every year globally, and we span our award across 8 different awards category. And these women that you will hear from today are the top 24 women that has been selected out of these 1,200. In addition to sort of their application and their telling of their story of why the challenge that they're solving is needed in the world, as well as how they have very robustly built a financially sustainable business to support such change. We also actually hire a due diligence firm and in partnership with Sagana, who actually do very detailed due diligence on each fellow, ensuring that actually they really are very strong, financially sustainable, impact-based businesses that are creating the change that they're claiming to make in the world. And so I hope as you hear the story of each of these fellows and the remarkable change that they're creating in the world, that you know that actually in being selected and being part of the Cartier Women Initiative, it really means that both in terms of their personal passion and leadership, it really has empowered these women to create the change that they wanted to see. And also on the same token, these women are excellent role model in terms of how one can leverage business as a force for good in changing the world. So with that, I'm going to hand it back to you, the moderator, to start this session. And I'm excited to hear again from all the fellows and see where they have come to since the last time I've heard from them.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Wenji, for this beautiful introduction. And it's not only our top innovators who are women today, we also have a fantastic female jury. And I would love to also introduce all of them. And we'll start with Sophie Bidwell. Sophie, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Sophie. I am an investor by background, but a purpose-led entrepreneur at heart. I am French, but I've spent the last 22 years in the UK, the first 10 of which with big, mighty institutions like Goldman Sachs and various private equity funds, being a banker and then an investor. And then the last 12 years following my entrepreneurial path. And the current 2 companies that I am leading are called Springwise and Reset, and they are both B corporations, so we have business as a force for good embedded in what we do. Springwise is the global innovation spotting engine, and Reset is a next generation strategy consultancy around sustainability and innovation, and I'm delighted to be here today.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sophie. And then we're going to hand it over to Julie Blain.
Hello, thank you. My name is Julie Blain. I am general partner of InfraCity, a new venture fund investing in urban tech startups at their Series A and pre-Series A rounds. We support companies with solutions accelerating decarbonization and sustainability in cities. And we do look for diverse founders. We believe diversity adds a lot of value to teams, and we actively support women entrepreneurs with backgrounds in science, technology, and engineering. I am super excited to hear from these fantastic women today, and very much looking forward to speaking with you afterwards as well.
Wonderful. Thank you, Julie. And then I'm going to hand over to our last juror member, Davina McPhail.
Hi, everyone. I'm Davina McPhail. I work for impact investing fund based in Paris called Fitrust Partenaires. We are a social impact investor set up since 2006, invested today in more than 30 portfolio companies, mostly in France, but also in Europe, in Africa and Asia. I myself spent 7 years in Asia, in Cambodia and in Taiwan before joining Fitrust Partenaires, working on social ventures and finance. And so I'm very excited to be here and hear all of you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Davina. Clearly, we have a wonderful panel here with us today. So let's get ready and be inspired. And the first woman that I would like to introduce is Sophia Blackstone, and she is the founder of Hive Online. Sophie, over to you.
Thanks very much indeed. Thanks for inviting me to pitch today. We all know it's tough building a business, but imagine how much harder it is for Anna. She can't read and has never had a bank account, but for her, running a business is a matter of survival. She needs better seeds and treatments to grow her business, but can't borrow $50 without credit history. Fernando runs a successful microfinance business, but Anna's invisible to him, and transporting cash to the village is expensive. Millions of Annas are making Africa the fastest growing small business market, and Fernando's desperate to reach them. Hive Online builds the bridge between formal financial institutions and informal entrepreneurs with a distributed community finance solution that digitizes trust. Businesses build trust by delivering what they've agreed, based on relationships made through the trust we've helped them build. Trust is built on facts about what they do as they agree, deliver and transact. Farmers submit crop forecasts so buyers can pre-book their produce. Our analytics measure when they meet these commitments and others. We build a digital reputation based on facts about what they do. Structures loans incentivize sustainable behaviors, and we aggregate risk so communities can leverage collective muscle. We take commission from lenders who realize big savings on KYC. Sorry, lost the window. Sorry. Communities can leverage collective muscle. We take commission from lenders who realize big savings on KYC. Governments and NGOs get cheap, reliable voucher distribution. NGOs alone spend $4.2 billion on vouchers annually. Our blockchain-based solution ensures they go to the right people, taking out cost and corruption. And our analytics and organizations pay for access to the data and analytics that form the core of our platform. With these distribution partners, we're reaching communities in countries covering 30% of Africa's population. It's the world's fastest growing market. Anna gets the agricultural input she needs to increase her crops and makes enough money to send her girls to school. Trust builds business relationships, and Hive Online builds trust, as we're proving, in the least developed countries in the world. And it's a lot to do with our team, as well as... Sorry, we've lost the slides. Can't see the slides. Oh, thank you. Sorry. Anyway, so it's a lot about our team. As well as building banks, I've written books about organizations, transformation, economics, and fintech. We've got a strong, diverse team based in the Nordics and Kigali in Rwanda. And as well as the banking backgrounds, we've also got top quality developers from Carnegie Mellon's CMU postgraduate university. And our backgrounds are key to what we do. As well as the platform, we do a lot of research supporting international organisations. We've made over €1 million in revenue so far, and we're ready to scale because of accelerating customer demand. So we're raising €1 million to help grow our team and reach the market faster. It's really about us, but it's also about our customers, and these are the entrepreneurs who are building the economy of tomorrow, and we'd like to help them. We'd love for you to come along on our journey. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sophie. And yes, a little bit of technical problem is okay. Your message was still very loud and clear. All right, we're now going to hand it over to Tracy ORourke, who is the founder of Vivid Edge. Tracy, I'm going to hand it over to you. Oh, we can't hear you, Tracy.
Thank you so much. Do I click request control for the, because I don't see my slides. Oh, there's my slides. Super. Thank you. I just want to check how I go down a slide. Can you just give me some guidance?
Sorry, are you able to use the clicker?
I'm not seeing a clicker, sorry.
Okay, if it's not working, would you be able just to use, like, say next for every slide?
Yeah, sure. Although, is the clicker something you sent me or anything? Just to, it's easier to have control if I can just briefly check, and otherwise we'll go for plan B. Is that something you sent me, or is the clicker on my computer doesn't work, if that's what you mean? The slides are gone now. Yeah, I'll just go next then.
Yeah, it might be easier. Just say the word next, that's all you have to say.
Okay, and I'm just looking, perfect. Okay, so to kick off, hello everybody. After a corporate career in financial services, I wanted to do something innovative and with a social purpose, and so Vivid Edge was born. And we help large, next please, we help large energy users reduce carbon footprint at zero out-of-pocket costs. 2 next slides, please. I have 3 children next, they're my why, and I want to ensure we leave them a planet worth living in. So meet Maria, 2 slides next, please. 2 down, yeah, sorry. The problem that we're solving is energy waste. And if you go on to the next slide, please, thank you. So I'd like you to meet Maria. We delivered Maria's energy efficiency upgrade under a simple 8-year service contract. Maria, sorry, something that did that. Maria is the CEO of a large telco, and Maria wanted to upgrade her lighting infrastructure, but being a telco, they had to invest in 5G. And other providers were not able to help Maria, but we were. And we were able to deliver her energy upgrade as a simple 8-year service contract. We paid for and delivered a full turnkey upgrade, and Maria had no repayments until the energy savings commenced. And 82% energy savings were achieved, and the savings more than covered our service fee, and the project won a national award. The concept is very simple. Behind us is an innovative approach to risk and energy efficiency. Maria loved our flexibility, our can-do attitude, and our technical capability. We were the only provider Maria spoke to who was able to deliver exactly what she needed. Others either couldn't cover the full scope, or they didn't like that type of asset, or they wanted to use their product. We were the only provider she spoke to who gave her what she needed. So our model is proven. Our funding partner lends to us for each project. We pay back over 8 years. We add a simple margin to that and charge our customer. So we have long-term fixed recurring revenue that runs into the millions. We have an exciting sales pipeline in Europe and the Middle East. It's very scalable. Our funding partner is secured. We work with large suppliers. Just 10 projects can deliver 10 million in recurring revenues. We are currently raising a 6 million round, and we'd love to talk to funders about that. And we'd also love to talk to customers who might be interested in our model, large energy users. Most importantly, we're improving the planet. A special thank you to Cartier and the ChangeNOW program. This is the biggest and scariest problem in the world today, but we believe climate action targets are achievable with a different way of thinking. And I forgot the slides, but I hope you held my story. Thank you.
It was great. Thank you so much, Tracy. Sometimes you don't need technology. It's the passion and dedication that matters the most. Wonderful. Sophie and Tracy, thank you both for a fantastic presentation. We're now going to go to Q&A, and I'd love to hear if any jury member has some questions they would like to ask. Yes, Julie, go for it.
Hi, thank you so much. It's absolutely your passion that comes through. So don't worry about the slides at all. What I'm interested in is in your ambition. So let's think a little bit further about that. Like, you've got your plans now for the next 5 whatever years. What could supercharge those plans so that your plans for growth over the next 2 years is what your goal is? What, how do you transform that scale to be imminent rather than medium term?
Yeah, that's really easy to answer. So the next step for us is to secure 10 customers, 5 projects worth 5 million each. What we're finding is we have a funding partner, and we for a facility of 30 to 50 million, we've a lot of really interesting sales pipeline. But what we want to do is we're putting a board in place. We want to bring in more capital into our actual our own business, because our own balance sheet is still small. Our project capital is big. So that's why we want to bring in kind of 5 to 6 million for stronger bandwidth ourselves. The pipeline and the relationships we have are absolutely there. So literally, 5 customers or 10 customers times 5 million worth of projects helps us scale very, very quickly. And because we're outsourcing delivery to our funding partner and to large suppliers who do the installation for us and who supply the technologies for us, it really is very possible to scale with a very small team. This is my second venture. I was in a high growth aircraft leasing startup that grew to a 1.8 billion book in 5 years, and that was with just 36 staff and just 28 customers. We're following a really similar model. So we're just looking for we're putting a board in place. We want to bring in more equity funding into our own business to beef us up so that we're more credible to the large multinational customers that we're engaged with, and then we really have the team poised and ready to scale based on that.
Great. We'd love to hear from Sophie too. What's your ambition to get that scale in the next 2 years?
So, well, simply put, we're building the rails of the distributed economy in Africa. So for us, it's about getting to as many customers and as many places as possible. We're in 3 countries already. We're going into 2 more in the next few months, starting with Nigeria next month. And today it's in partnership with NGOs. So our scale plans are to move beyond NGOs. We're already partnering with financial institutions in various countries, and we plan to work more closely with global buyers in the agricultural food chain, so that we can basically reach more farmers. But as well as that, we need to decouple our dependency from distribution from those NGOs. So we want to move more to a B2C model. And that will require investment in the platform and obviously marketing and advertising in markets which we don't currently advertise in. So there's an investment element to that. So the reason we're raising is so that we can become more independent of the revenue we're getting from projects today, which is keeping us alive but not allowing us to scale.
Okay, I'll ask a question then. So question for the two of you as well. What scares you the most in this beautiful future that you're looking towards? It could be a competitor, regulation, it could be anything, market dynamics. I don't know. What's the most scary?
Shall I start?
Go ahead, Sophie. Yeah. Facebook.
Okay.
So Facebook, as you probably know, is collaborating with other entities to release a stable coin, which is just a US dollar denominated stable coin. That creates huge risk to the markets that we're in terms of the opportunity for people to store their wealth in a US denominated stable coin, which is more accessible than fiat currency, and consequently destabilize the national currencies. Now, obviously, that's a threat to the whole economy, not just us. But the reason we are trying to get to scale as quickly as possible is to increase the availability of nationally denominated stablecoins to customers who need to be able to store their wealth in that way, so that Facebook doesn't hoover up the entire market. That's not to say they will, but there's going to be regulation in their way and other things. But it's a real threat to many of the economies we're supporting at the moment.
I'm sure all of us are behind you and against Facebook to try and crush that threat.
And for me, so I'm not a very fearful person. The thing that kind of bothers me or pokes me is really this idea that we were probably ahead of the market when we founded Vivid Edge. We were the only player doing what we're doing. It was before climate became fashionable. We did it from a real purpose-led place. And so really, for me, it's what I'm seeing as bigger players now coming into this space. We're talking to big multinationals, and they're saying you're really tiny, so it's a bit risky for us to do business with you. And we're going, but it's our risk because we're bringing our money, and you don't have to pay us a penny until the projects are fully installed and the benefits come in. So it's actually our risk, not yours. But at the same time, there's one other player doing exactly what we're doing in America, and a very large PLC, said they're talking to them and they're talking to us. They have like a 150 million balance sheet. We have a tiny one. So it's really, we have a window. We were first to market, and I really want to kind of grab, accelerate to the next level. We're ready and capable of doing it. And I just think we need to kind of get some stronger, a stronger balance sheet ourselves to be really able to challenge alongside some of the giants that are coming in. And we know that what we have, it has been so carefully thought through that we believe it's really more innovative than anything else out there in our how. It looks so simple, but behind the scenes, we've really thought this through. So what scares me is kind of the big monster guys, and to make sure that we kind of can take our slice. Ultimately, we hope everybody does it our way. Our ambition is bigger than we are. We just really want to initially, though, make sure that we're big enough that our model gets noticed and gets adapted, and then that way we can make an even bigger impact. But we know we can get to a 1 billion business in a few years, 100 million in the next 2. But we just need that strength and that backing to make sure that we can stand alongside the giants and really be heard when we're talking to our large multinationals. So that's what bothers me rather than scares me, because we're up for it.
I love the ambition, both of you. It's brilliant.
Okay.
Yes. Go ahead, Davina.
Yeah. I also had a more like a general question. In a way, who are your main allies today, also to carry out, your mission and your growth plans? And if you could, being in a space like this at ChangeNOW, what opportunities and what connections are you hoping to make to carry out that mission, if any?
Well, I jump in this time, Sophie. I have to say, Cartier has been the most wonderful experience. Sophie will probably agree with me that the journey can be a lonely one, and just the sense of community and having like-minded, purpose-led people, the whole Cartier thing, and just the kind of credibility, because we're very independently vetted. That's been wonderful. I've also joined a recent program just now this year, sponsored by Barclays Bank globally for impact entrepreneurs. 15 people from Europe selected, and they are helping connect us with funding opportunities and also sales opportunities. Thank you so much for the opportunity today. Very, very grateful to be here. I would love to connect with people who are potential board members who would add that credibility and who would be able to then connect us with organisations they're involved with, who would be prepared and see the value in an innovative company over a smaller one. We only need a very small number of those, and we're well able to deliver our model. So climate influencers, the likes of Paul Pullman, the people who really have been purpose-led from the heart for some time, but who have that credibility on the business stage. We'd love somebody from that field to join our board. and just through the networking, that would really be a huge stepping stone for us to catapult us towards growth.
Yeah, for us, I mean, Cartier's been fantastic, obviously, and yeah, absolutely echo everything that Tracy just said. It's a really amazing experience, and we've also done some other accelerators, which one in particular, which was sponsored by Eunice, was great for introducing us to partners. And our key partners on the ground, who are our biggest supporters, are in Mozambique. We've got the Association of Modern Cooperatives, which is a government organisation trying to professionalise the cashew sector, or the cooperative sector rather, and the nut board as well. Then we, as I mentioned, we work with NGOs who are big cheerleaders in many countries, and I would say the financial institutions are in some ways our biggest cheerleaders, because they are, they're able to reach customers that they couldn't otherwise reach. But the relationships we're trying to build at the moment, and I think through an event like this, we would really welcome anyone in this sector, is in the large buyers who are looking to demonstrate their ESG credentials with real last mile data about farmers getting paid a fair amount for their crops, about farmers using organic inputs, about farmers using carbon neutral agricultural techniques, because those kinds of data are data that you cannot get from fair trade or organic certification, but we actually collect all of that last mile data from actual farmers on the ground, and present it in real time. So we believe that the biggest value add that we can give is actually to some of these large buyers who are trying to improve their value chains and demonstrate that their value chains are clean and sustainable, because that is one of the big challenges that they have today. So that's what we're looking for.
May I forgot one important one, and that is our customers. They absolutely love our model, and they say that we have really understood their needs right down to tiny detail. Other parties were trying to shoehorn, something that wasn't fit for purpose, but we really, really thought through and delivered something that was exactly what they wanted. So it's lovely to get that feedback from all the thought that we've put into what we're doing.
Wow, what a beautiful session. And unfortunately, our session is coming to an end. It went really fast. Thank you for all your powerful presentation and beautiful questions. It doesn't have to end here. You can follow the link in the chat, and you can continue your networking session at the networking tables. But for us, that marks the end. I want to thank you all for coming. Amazing fellows, fantastic jury members, and all of you tuning in from all around the world. Thank you so much for coming, and keep pioneering and inspiring all of us. I wish you all a fantastic day. Bye.
Thank you.